Okay, boys, a lot of you want to hit your first $10,000 a month online. That's like a benchmark nowadays. But the thing is that there's a lot of straight up bullshit out there. A lot of these gurus are making it seem a lot easier than it actually is with their SMMA courses, trading courses, or any other BS like that. So in today's video, I'm gonna break down 3 main components that you need to focus on if you wanna be making that very desired 10K a month. Now, the first thing that you need to hit your first 10K a month is the right vehicle. You need the right vehicle. So what that means is that you need an opportunity that's big enough but not too risky to actually achieve your goal. You need a vehicle in a way where you can make that sort of money. I'm talking about 10K a month, but in a way where you're not risking losing all the money that you do currently have. So obviously, with that being said, trading is not an option. Trading is not an option and it's out of the window. Just completely forget about it. And the reason behind that is actually pretty simple. I want to be honest. And I want to say that there are a lot of traders out there that are trying to sell you something and just take money for themselves. When you lose money, that's actually how they make money, and that's just an honest truth. If you have $1,000, let's say, to turn that into $10,000-$20,000 with trading is very unlikely. The amount of successful trades, average of all those successful trades, is very, very difficult. Whereas for you to take that 1K and literally invest that into something stable, into expanding your knowledge and skill set, which you can use to profit off massively, then by the end of the year, we are talking about you potentially making 5 figures. So obviously, the way for you, if you have such an amount and you don't know where to start, your first step should be to invest into something, and that can potentially result in you making 5 figures after some period of time, you know. Of course, if you are being consistent enough. That's the main thing here, consistency. Don't expect to hit 100K in your first year, because that's very unrealistic. And even if you are looking for a get rich quick scheme, sorry to disappoint you, bro, but you've been brainwashed by all these gurus I mentioned earlier. Anyways, if you stick with it, by the end of the year, you should be making a few times more than what your average salary is right now. And the best part is that you'll be doing all of that remotely. You're gonna do all of that remotely. So your number one priority right now at your beginning phase should be to make pure profit from something that you can later use to reinvest into anything else you want. So I want to create a little diagram like here. So your number one priority should be to make pure profit, which you can potentially reinvest into something else, which you can reinvest into anything else you want, whether that's trading or whatever. But you can't depend only on one stream of income. You can't. For example, as an appointment setter, you make a commission. Let's say that's 10% of a 5K deal, which is 500, and all of that is profit. Imagine working for someone with constant lead flow, for example, and you're booking 2-3 calls every single day. That's at least, on average, 10 to 15 closes every month. And now multiply that with your commission, which is 500, and boom, you're well past 5K. You're almost at 10K even. That's also why you should always prefer to do something service-based, because you can keep most of the profit, if not all. So when it comes to service-based side hustles, I want to get this very clear. You need to look for 2 things. First one is high perceived value. First one is high perceived value, and simply what I mean by that is that it needs to be something that will make a person like, wow, this is actually worth it, you know, I'm more than happy to pay this guy, this service provider, to do this for me. In this case, that's obviously you, an appointment setter, getting a constant lead flow for the business you're working for by booking them qualified calls. Or the other thing you should look out for is have a high leverage. Have a high leverage. That's an option for you later down the line. Once you master the skill of appointment setting, let's say, and then you decide to go into starting your own business just like I did. Then you can hire a certain amount of people below you, let's call them, because you're an owner, to do those jobs for you where you're keeping most of the profit. And that's some sort of a passive income, I'd say. You have to do some stuff here and there, but not as much as before. Not as much as before you started your own business while you were still working as someone's appointment setter. But one more thing, before you even think of a passive income, is that you need to work on your earned income first, which is why I'm telling you so much about appointment setting here on this channel and on my IG page as well. It's a perfect vehicle to build you a skill set, to build you a discipline, and to build you a knowledge that you can use later down the line. Main point here is that you should provide so much value to the market that people would feel stupid refusing you. People would feel stupid saying no to you. So just imagine you're an appointment setter booking over 50 calls per month, let's say, and now someone wants to stop working with you. That's literally 50 potential clients in the bin. So much money lost for the business owner. And I honestly think, it's hardly possible that he would fire you if you bring such a value to his business. At that point, you can even set yourself as the main man and ask him for more money. You see how many doors open just by being irreplaceable on the market, just by bringing so much value to the market, So one thing I want to get clear is that you're not going to be a millionaire. You're not going to be moving to Dubai in a few months by being an appointment setter like all the other geeks are, advertising to. But you can't go broke ever again. You simply can't go broke. Once you have the skills and the knowledge, no one can take that away from you. As a beginner, starting a business can take you bankrupt. And I'm talking from my personal experience. I started an e-com dropshipping store 2 years ago, and I put all my money, all my savings into it just so I can lose it. I made 0 sales. I lost everything. But now, with the amount of skills I've acquired, I can confidently say it's never gonna happen again. And you better believe it's really nice feeling to say that I'm never gonna go bankrupt ever again in my life. And that's, ladies and gentlemen, how you find the right vehicle. Something that's service-based and where you only depend on your skill set and knowledge, which no one, once again, I'm repeating this, which no one can take away from you. Now, I wanna talk about component number 2. Component number 2. Once you find the right vehicle, you need to stretch out the timeline. Now, I'm gonna explain that in a second. What I mean by stretch out the timeline is, first of all, here's the very unfortunate thing about social media. I think you're gonna agree with me. For example, imagine 15 years ago yourself being a young guy making 3-4K a month through social media without waking up early in the morning for your 9 to 5. You have time freedom, you have location freedom, and you can do anything you want with your time and with your money. You would be the absolute king, I believe, the best guy in the world. But now, in 2024, you could be living that same life, but let's be real, you'd probably feel like a failure at some point because you're not making 10K in the first few weeks like these gurus are making, So imagine how messed up that is. Can you see to what extent have they brainwashed us? Of course, we can't compare the situation now with the situation we've been 15 years ago. There's inflation and there's a recession, so it's not the same thing, but you see my point. And please, don't get me wrong. Your main goal should still be to get that cash in your pocket as soon as possible, but don't expect to be making 5K in the first month or 2 of doing something. I started my appointment setting journey over a year ago now, and I didn't make a single penny for over 4 months, even though I booked about 60 plus calls, but I saw the potential and I saw all the money other guys have been making, so I knew that I must be better than them by any means. And fast forward now, a year later, I came back from Thailand a few days ago, where I spent 2 beautiful weeks in a 7-bedroom villa on top of some mountain with the best view I've ever seen. And by the way, of course, this is not to brag, but to show you that back then, when I started, I wanted to live that exact life, and I knew it's gonna be hard and that I'll face many obstacles, but guess what, I kept going, because that's the only way. The only way for you to succeed is to keep going and to keep putting consistent work day in and day out. So my point here is that consistency is key. Once you find the right vehicle, like we talked about a moment ago, you need to put in the consistent work every day, no matter what, so that vehicle that you found can take you to your desired situation. Like I said, consistency is key. So, like I said, I knew it's gonna be hard, but I kept going. And if you by any chance manage to do it faster than me, then that's amazing. I'm genuinely so happy for you. But it's just that I don't want for you to feel disappointed with your results, with your work at the beginning, and for you to think that that right vehicle you found maybe isn't for you, when actually it is. But you have to give it a slightly extra push in order for your income to take off. Keep in mind that you need to set and build the foundation first. Foundation is the most important part, because from that foundation everything else grows. You build the foundation first, and only then you'll taste the fruits of your own labor, I'd say. So yeah, pretty short component, but very, very important, because these 3 components, each and every single one of them is very important if you want to get to that very desired benchmark of 10K per month. And now the third component, one very and extremely important part of this video, is that this is not a sprint. This is not a sprint. It's actually a marathon. I'm sure you've heard about it a few times before, but not in this way. Once you find that right vehicle, you have to keep pushing and keep working, I would say. Keep working, keep putting that consistent work every single day. And with that being said, you should not be expecting to make 5 to 10K a month in first month or two. Like I said, this is not a sprint, it's a marathon. I want to give you one advice on, once you reach 5 to 10K a month, I want to give you an advice on how to stay there. Actually, it's easier to hit your first 5 to 10K a month than keep making it consistently from month to month, So pretty much that's the third component. Knowing that once you get there, you're not done. That's only the beginning of your journey. Appointment setting, honestly, in all honesty, appointment setting should not be your job. You should not be doing it for 5 to 10 years, let's say. Of course, you can, if you're enjoying at it, if it suits you that much. And obviously, at some point, you're going to be making a lot more than 5 to 10K a month. You're going to be making maybe 20, 25K a month even. But the thing is, if you are like me, if you have that entrepreneurial blood in your veins, you'll eventually want to start your own business, so you can unlock 2 things. So you're going to unlock 2 things. First one is, of course, making more money. And the reason behind that is pretty simple, because you're not getting 10, 15, 20% of the sale. You're not getting any commissions, but you're keeping 80% of it. You're keeping most of the profits because you are the owner. And the second thing, that brings me to the second thing, is, of course, just being your own boss. You're not working for someone anymore, like I said. But now, at this point, the people are working for you, and they are automating an entire business for you. And now at this point, you're not trading your time for money anymore, but money is working for you. By now you have reached an ultimate freedom, and the only way from there is go up. Just go up and keep scaling, keep hiring more people, keep putting more work, more time, more effort into your clients, whatever. Like I said, once you reach that final point of starting your own business with an amount of skills, with an amount of knowledge that you can use to make that business truly profitable, only way is up. And once again, It's a long journey to be able to live that life. So my question to you right now is, are you ready to grind your ass off for the next 2 or 3 years, let's say? For the next 2 or 3 years, so you can potentially get to that very desired point. If you said yes, if you agree with me, then your next step is just get started, bro. There's no time for wasting. We're already in the second quarter of the year. Right now, the time when I'm recording this video it's 3rd of April. It's 3rd of April and some things need to be done. If you feel like you need some extra advice on all of this, you can just book a one-on-one call with me through the link down below. I'm gonna put my calendar down there in the description, or just reach out to me on my IG. It's gonna be pasted down there in the description as well, and we'll just have a chat. You're running out of time, boys, and keep that in mind. Thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe for more content like this, and see you in the next video.